Welcome back to Self-Built. Today is going to be a build video. We're going to be building some new gym equipment. What we're going to be building today is the TRX suspension system. If you're not familiar with that, it's a really awesome body weight based exercise system that you can train your whole body, and there's no weights included. It's very low impact and it's extremely versatile, and it's very compact. You can put it in a little bag, take it on wherever you need to go. So it's like carrying your own little gym with you. So it's got a lot of really cool things. You can also adjust the resistance that you have depending on how close you want to get to the system itself. You can also adjust the length of the system depending on what exercise you're doing. And there's a lot of cool stuff. Now that might not make sense to you, but I'll do some demoing of it once it's all built. But there are some negatives to that. The TRX brand, it can be a little bit pricey. It's about $270 for like their Primo. And if you go with their basic model, it's about $170 or so. And then you can get some generic rip-off brands, which can go down. The lowest I saw was about $40. Now we're gonna do them a little bit better. We are gonna build a system for $14. So they can put that in their pipe and smoke it. Now, we do need some top secret ingredients here. So let's see what we got around. So what we need is a tape measure. We need a pen. We need some scissors. We need some, oh, you probably can't even see these, some zip ties. And the last thing that we need are some tie-down straps. That is all we need. Extremely simple, very basic. You can build this in probably 5 seconds. Okay, maybe not that quick. Few minutes, but I'm gonna drag it out and show you step by step of how it works. So let's get into it. All right, first things first, when you order it, if you get the same one I did, I'll leave a link in the description below of where to get these for super cheap. But it just comes like this, separate, and it's all rubber banded together. You wanna make sure that it's got 2 hooks, hook for one side and a hook for the other side, because that otherwise defeats the purpose of getting them. And if you're wondering as far as like the strength of these, they claim it's 1,000 pounds. I don't have any idea if they're that strong. Mostly what I'm worried about is just how good the teeth are on this thing. So I'll do a little test on that. And you need to make sure that you wrap this in here correctly. I'll bring it real close, because if you don't do it right, it's not gonna lock. So if you go this way, through the mouth, and you pull it all the way through, this is the problem that you're gonna run into. So let's say you've got your hook attached and then you've got this anchored somewhere. If you pull, it's gonna slip. So you gotta make sure you've got it routed right. All you do is basically just switch it around. So we're back to this spot again. Instead of going through the front, we're gonna go through the back. And whoop, if it'll work for me. Come out like this, and then fish it all the way through. Now, if you're pulling, well, let me pull it close so you guys can see. Now when you've got resistance, it's not going anywhere. And if you're curious, I always like to test things out to make sure I feel safe about them. So I've got some mounted eye bolts up here. So I've got one here, and I'm just gonna throw a handle on it real quick before we get too deep into this. Just throw this bad boy on here. Just toss this. Okay, let's see if it can hold 200 pounds. Whoa! All right, I would say that's good. Typically you're using 2 of these, so you could be a 400-pound man having some fun. So rest easy. All right, next, all I'm gonna do is, you can see this is a little bit long, longer than you typically need. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust it to a length that I would think would be the lowest length I'll ever use. So I'll bring it all the way down. I have it at the longest length I ever think I'll need to use. So now I'm gonna use those scissors, we're gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna make some marks so that way we'll be able to know basically where we are. And after we cut it, I'm going to mark it. I'm thinking I'm going to mark it every 6 inches. So that way when I've got 2 of these, it's going to be really easy to have the same length without having to measure. Just real quick, save some time, and off we'll be going. All right, I've got it to the longest length I ever think I'll use. I'll give it a little bit of slack, and then I'll just cut it right here. Ta-da! So we've got the length. Now, just gonna mark it up, and then I'll show you what we're gonna use those zip ties for. Once you've got this all laid out, all you need are your trusty tape measure and a pen or marker, whatever you wanna do to mark it up. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna do every 6 inches. I'm gonna mark this, and then I'm also gonna put a number by that 6-inch mark, so that way when I've got both straps, it's very easy to navigate, and that way we can have similar lengths. Makes it really easy and fast, so when your workouts are going, you're not spending too much time not working out. Got all the measuring and marking done, so as you can see, and it's even double-sided. Pretty snazzy, but I've got it all marked, so that way it's really easy to go through whatever number we're gonna do and be like, hey, let's put it on 6 or something. And bam, it is ready to go. And a pro tip for you, make sure you write the number on the right side, so that way it's not upside down. So this is my anchor, so I'll always have it this side up. And a second tip, it's always helpful to have a lighter colored strap. So that way it's really easy to draw on and you can see it and it's high visibility. If you don't have that option, a simple fix is I would just wrap a little thing of duct tape around it and then just write on the duct tape itself. Because there is room in here, it's not that tight of a fit. So it could have a little duct tape on here and it would make it through just fine. So that could be an easy fix for you. What I want to do next is use these zip ties. And this is just a nice, oh, I don't know, I guess call it a quality of life. Because when you've got this all hooked up and everything, you just don't want this extra slack to be hanging around. So what I'm going to do is just make a little loop around here. And I want it to be just tight enough that it'll hold it and slide at the same time. So that way, boom, done. Was that hard or what? And then when you need to adjust something, let's see if it'll, oh, what even adjust with it? Well, that's fancy. Guess when it gets a little closer, you gotta readjust. But not bad. Then when you want to use like a handle or something, all you do is reach over and grab a handle. I'm assuming that you'll probably have some kind of cable handle around here since you have a home gym, hopefully, or a normal gym or something. So you just attach it through the hook and you're in business. If you do not have a hook, I've got some videos that I can show you how to build some homemade handles. Super easy, just rope, pipe, and then a little bit of hardware. Super easy. I think it was like $5-7. Way easy. So that way, if you've got, starting from scratch, you've got nothing at all, you can just use this and you can build your own handle. And something cool about these is not everyone's gonna have an eye bolt in their ceiling. All you do is you can just wrap it around something, attach it to itself, and you can just do whatever you want. That's another cool versatile thing about this is you don't have to have a certain anchor. You can use a tree, you can use anything above your head, something sturdy, you just wrap around and you're off on the races. I just finished doing the exact same thing that you guys saw to the second one. So now we've got 2 fully functional TRX DIY suspension system, arms, bands, things, whatever you want to call them. I've got some handles on here. So this is it. This is all that you need. It does everything that you need to do. And you can do whatever you want to do that a normal TRX can do with this. You want to do some legs, you want to do some shoulders. It's like you can do whatever you want. Do some curls. So if you want me to do some like TRX demo videos of some workouts, definitely let me know, comment in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Very simple. And this is made out of nylon, which the TRX is also made out of nylon. So they're made out of the same thing. You can even go as far as to say that these are more versatile than the other straps out there because you can interchange the handle to whatever that you want. So if you want to do something that's like, oh, I don't know, if you want to do a bigger handle, all you do is just hook it on and you're good to go. And as you saw earlier, I can hold my body weight on just one of these easily. So you can attach whatever thing your heart desires. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of the simplest things you can make, and it's also one of the cheapest. So hopefully that helps you out. If you have any questions, any concerns about that, yeah. The only thing is just don't go too tight with the zip tie. This one's a little bit tighter, so it has a little bit more resistance when you're shortening it. So just find that sweet spot. And if I did this again, I couldn't find a black marker in my whole house. I couldn't believe it. But I would use a black marker instead of a pen because it just takes so long to just scribble it on there. So I'll probably eventually redo it and go over the numbers with something that's a little bit more bold, but it does the job for the time being. And that's it. So hopefully that helped you guys out. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. And you can also follow me on the Talk and the Gram. I'll just leave that in the description below. You can get some sweet self-built merch there as well. And we'll see you next time on Self Built.